a very brief introduction of what part one of the webinar was. And if you haven't watched the same, you can always watch it on the YouTube channel of the Homework app, right? Part one of this webinar. Well, good morning to everyone. Good evening to everyone. Once again, I'm so sorry. And yeah, we'll quickly start with the webinar. It's already 6 p.m. It's actually ahead of 6 p.m. now. So discussing more about competency based questions and what they are and how to make them, right? I'll quickly check the chat box once to see if there's any message which I need to answer. um Kavita ji, you can always get the recording of the session on the YouTube channel of the Homework app. Okay, don't worry at all. You can always get the recording there. Okay. Okay. All right. Quickly starting with today's webinar. Okay. Before starting, as we always discuss, okay, a very small message from the Homework app and team. You get participation certificates for all the webinars. So even today's webinar is certified in nature. By the end of the webinar, that is by 7:15 p.m., all the teachers, 7:15 p.m. will be the end of the webinar. I'll share you the form link exactly around 7:15 p.m. 7:15, okay, 15 p.m. Okay. And then there's another thing, okay, that is Smart Teacher Festival. Smart Teacher Festival is basically an opportunity which the Homework app provides to its teachers, wherein the teachers can participate in this festival free of cost and can earn rewards which is worth rupees 2000 along with official certificate from the side of the application. Okay, but more on the same I'll tell you during the end of the webinar. All right. All right. Just a very brief message for all the teachers and educators who are present here. Please do watch part one of the webinar if you haven't. The YouTube channel name for the same is the Homework app. You can get all the recordings of my sessions. Even previously, I've taken loads of sessions for for the app, along with many educators. So if you have missed any of it, you can just watch it here. All right. Hi everyone, and good evening. Welcome to the webinar. All right. Okay, so the Homework app is there. All right. Now, moving ahead. Okay, so we discussed a little about NEP 2020, the salient features, etc., in the last webinar, and just a continuation of the same and repeating the same things again. For the other educators, NEP 2020 is the National Education Policy. National Education Policy, in very brief, is a modification of the old education policy which the government had in 1980s. So, for the first time, on 29th July 2020, the government introduced a new policy. And in May, that is 2022, okay, so in May 2022 this year, there was an announcement by CBSE, okay, and my reference is CBSE circular. So one of the circulars of CBSE mentioned the new format, wherein it said that there will be a higher weightage on competency based questions from now on. All right. So competency based questions pehle bhi the, abhi bhi hai. It was there before, it is there now. But the only difference is 10% increment has been there from the last year. That is the news. That higher weightage on competency based questions are there for the boards from now on. And these competency based questions can come in any format. It can be value based, it can be assertion reasoning, it can be MCQ, it can be case based, source based, the same thing again. It can be anything. It can come in any format. Okay, so it's very important for teachers to know कि competency based questions होते क्या है, what are they, how do you exactly prepare them, what are the pointers you have to keep in mind to make the right set of questions for your students, and how do you make your students practice more and more. Okay, that is something very important again. Okay, so that is the news with which basically I'm going to start today's webinar, and I'm not going to repeat the other things which you discussed in part one because you can always watch the recording later. Okay. Okay, moving ahead to what is the meaning of competency-based questions. Simply speaking, competency-based questions are those questions, okay, which test the knowledge and the skills students are expected to learn as they progress through their education. Those questions which tend to test a student's capacity, how much knowledge the student have, how much learning the student has, how much understanding the student is displaying, how much skill set the student has developed. All those kind of questions are competency based questions which test all these aspects of a student's mental personality or the mental ability, how much the student has progressed. It should test all these things of a student, and the questions which do so are called competency based questions. In short, In brief, testing the competency of a student, how competent a student is out there in the real world and in academics, while they are learning and progressing. All right. And you can see references on all my slides. My content is not something which I've written on my own, but it is a reference from very valid, from very reliable sources. Okay. Here also I've taken the reference of CBSE itself for the meaning of it. All right. So that is the basic meaning of competency based questions. Now, before moving ahead, as you can again see, the references on all my slides, there was a webinar series, which CBSE carried out last year, 2021 October. Okay, if you go to the internet, you can see the webinar series. So, in those series, some very important pointers which the CBSE mentioned was how to prepare competency based question, right? Some very basic pointers. What are the key characteristics for any question to be a good, reliable, valid question? Okay, and these were the certain pointers I found out to be very, very interesting and engaging. So the first one is test what it intends to test. Every question should have a focus, or should have a focal point. Okay, if I am providing this question to my student, okay, this question should particularly test the student's knowledge in this area, or in, let's say, the area of stomata, or the area of reproduction, or the area of atom and ion, or the area of this or that, right? So it should test what it intends to test. So if you're giving a question from a certain intention on the back of your mind, make sure you formulate the question in the right manner so that it caters to the student in the right way, and test what it is actually made for testing. Okay, that is point one. Now, point two, test core understanding. Obviously, whenever I am giving a question to my student, as a teacher, my first agenda should be, are my students understanding the concept? So, how do I formulate the question to understand whether the student is clear with the concept or not? How much the students have understood? Right, and the best way to actually analyze the core understanding of students is to give case based questions. Okay, case based questions is something which we are going to discuss today under competency based questions, right? So competency based questions basically can be presented in any format. Okay, and today we are going to discuss two formats for the same. One is case based, one is assertion and reasoning. All right, and we'll discuss all these things again in detail with subject examples, and PDFs which I'll be sharing you now. All right. Then third point is, it's indisputable. Obviously, any question which you prepare as a tutor or a teacher should be indisputable in nature, right? If I am preparing a question, the major aim should be that if I give a question with, let's say, four options, right? I give an MCQ to my student. Obviously, I have to make the question indisputable in nature, that nobody can point a finger on it, right? It shouldn't be like you're giving a question, on, let's say, the reproductive parts of plant, but the options are given, maybe related to human beings. That is just very, very absurd, and nobody would do that. But sometimes, the options which are given by the teachers for certain kind of questions, or the case study questions which you give, in connection to the case study above, are just very, very absurd, and just not is just not very reliable and valid for the students to answer. So it should be indisputable in nature. Whatever you give should be checked at least 10 times from your end before you present it to the students out there. Because not only one or two, but 1 lakh to 10 lakh students will answer the boards from all across India. And their futures, depend on each and every marks, right? So make sure that you have this kind of checklist, before you prepare a question for your students. Okay. Fourth is stimulates thinking, different cognitive skills. Obviously, any question which you give to students, right, it should not only point on one aspect of my mental ability, that okay, this question will make the student think more, this question will make the student think creatively, this question will make the student sit back and connect the pointers from whatever they have learned from standard 6 to standard 10. Make sure that whatever questions you give serve multiple purposes at once. It makes the student think, it makes the student connect certain pointers, it makes the student use their own understanding and creativity as well. The question give them grounds to write what they think about the topic, what is their logic behind the answer which they are giving or they are writing, right? So it's very important that you make sure that the question itself is very stimulative in nature, right? They get confused a little, they think more, they try to pressurize their brains. Where have I read it? Oh my god, okay, fine, maybe this can connect with this. So it should be like that, confusing, creativity, innovative, different questions. Not something which you just pick from the book and give to the students, because if I give a question which is directly from the book, there's no thinking at all. Students by heart all the answers, probably by the end of the semester or year, which is there in the book, right? So if you want to make sure they learn something even while they're giving the test, you have to give questions which is stimulative in nature. And stimulate what? Stimulate your mental ability, stimulate cognitive skills is what we are saying here. All right. The fifth point and the sixth point together, the question should be very focused and very exclusive in nature. As I said, you have to give new questions to them every time, each and every topic. Maybe let's say if I pick, a social science topic like integrity, honesty, or if I pick, botany, or plant psychology, or human psychology, human anatomy, any topic like this, hundreds of questions can be formed around each and every concept which you teach to students, right? In different ways, maybe by storytelling, making a case study around it, making a value based question out of it. Even maths has value based questions, right? So what I feel is every question should be exclusive in nature. Try not to repeat your questions, okay? Even if you are a school principal, make sure that every year you tell your teachers to prepare a completely new question bank of 100 or 120 questions for the students, out of which maybe 50, 60 questions appear on the question paper. And keep adding to that question bank, new questions, maybe every week or every month. That is how the practice should be. Don't keep old question bank or questionnaires. Maybe, yeah, for class practice it's fine, but for the purpose of preparing questions which are necessary for boards and examination, I think something new, something exclusive, is very essential. And also the question should be very focused in nature. So if I am giving a question which is focusing on the maybe nature of a compound, whether it is an acid or whether it is a base, it should be very very focused on what it is trying to ask. Students should not get confused whether the question is asking them A or B. They should completely understand, okay, the question is asking me A, and I have to answer in relation to the point A. Simple. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, I'll just see the chat once. There are many messages as of now. All right. All right. Good evening to everyone. And yes, welcome to the webinar once again. If you missed any part of it, just pause the recording on the YouTube channel of the Homework app. All right. Well, moving to the seventh point, provides good insight into student learning, right? Obviously, whatever questions you prepare as a teacher should make sure that, your students, get good insight on how to answer, what to answer, in what way to answer. And then you as a teacher should be able to know that, okay, if the student is answering is in this direction, if the student has answered in this format, maybe there's a certain gap, in understanding between the student and the professor. Maybe I was trying to communicate something which I didn't communicate it very clearly, and it made my students get confused at the end, right? So make sure that whatever questions you give, it also gives you good insights into what your students have understood and what your students are still on the way to understand. That is very very important, the gap, the error which is there, right? So you have to fulfill that error to prepare good questions which can cater to the level of your students, and make them board ready. Okay, moving ahead again, this is something which I picked from the CBSE webinar series itself again. How to ensure question quality. Reviewing, it's very important, right? Three things are something you need to check. So if as a math, English, science, or SST teacher you prepared a question, something you need to check is the fairness, the validity, and the reliability of the question. Okay, now what are they? Reliability is a degree to which the question can produce consistent replicable results. So any maths question you give, any chemistry formula you give for balancing, etc. Okay, the question should be reliable in nature and should produce consistent answers. Now what does it mean? If I give a question and the students solve it again and again and with different methods, let's say, okay, it shouldn't produce different answers, right? So reliability comes when even the same question produces the same answer even when solved with different methods. So if it produces the same answer every time, what does it mean? It means the answers or the outputs of the questions are consistent in nature, right? And that is how you check the reliability of it. Computer teachers again, right? You can understand the meaning of input and output very clearly because that is a term we use to teach students, right? So reliability kya hota hai? The same program which I have input, which I use as an input should produce the same consistent results over and over again, right? The result should be replicable in nature. If every time the students solve the question using a different method or a method they understand and the answers are different, that question is not reliable, right? So make sure your questions, are reliable in nature. They produce the same kind of consistent answers. Second is validity. Now, what is validity? Degree to which the question is meaningful and corresponds accurately to the real world. Obviously, we are no more in 2001 or 1998 where we study from the book, pass out with good grades, and go out in the real world, with just the bookish knowledge. Today's world focuses more upon what real skills you have developed as a student in school or college and how much you can apply the same out there when you go to different companies or when you start your own company or when you work for other people. So validity is whatever knowledge you're providing to students right now, whatever questions you are giving to them should be very valid and should create a meaningful a connection with the real world outside as well. So many a times you might have seen that in case study questions like this are there. Ram was driving a bike, and when Ram was driving a bike, he saw through his rear view mirror that a woman was driving a scooty behind him, and the women's sari was touching the ground. And then Ram stopped the bike to alert the women. Now this was a question we discussed in the last webinar for physics, and the value based question that Ram looked at the lady from the rear view mirror, and then he came to know that the lady who was driving behind him was about to fall from the scooty because of a sari which was touching the ground and could have been tangled in the scooty's wheels. Okay, but Ram stopped himself and then he alerted the lady about the same. So convex, concave mirror, all these questions were there in connection to it. And then there was a value-based question on it. So these kind of questions also helps you to connect, as a student, it helps you to connect with the real world out there. Okay, these kind of situations can occur. Okay, when I am driving a bike or a scooty, I can also look back at people, who are driving behind me from the rear view mirror, right? And then again, it gives the student very basic knowledge as in what kind of mirror it is, and something of value, something which tests their competency, and moreover, it gives them the imagination, and the creativity to connect the same to the real life situations. So it should be valid in their lives as well, not only academically but in the real life as well. Okay. And the third thing is fairness, right? Degree to which the question provides equal opportunity for all to answer. Obviously, the question should be fair in nature. Okay, you can't just prepare a question, on the basis of very smart students. You can't just prepare the questions on the basis of let's say weak students or average students, because again, it will be unfair to all, right? So maybe a balanced questionnaire should be prepared, which caters to all different types of students, on an equal basis. Maybe not too hard, maybe not too easy to just pass it out, like that, right? So you should know that, okay, this is the level of competency the student should have when they are in standard 10. This is the level of competency the student should have when they are in standard 9. And accordingly, I have to give them the question to know how much competent they are right now and what are the errors or gaps in understanding. And we have to rectify the same before they give the actual examination out there. Okay. So these three things are again very, very important. And yeah, before we move ahead to our subjects and example, quickly discussing the checklist which should be followed while preparing the questions. So it should be free of irrelevant difficulties, right? Each and every question should be clear and concise, reader friendly phrasing, engaging and not distracting, sufficient content, and no bias or taboo should be there in the question. Okay. Again, free of test wise factors, no external and internal clues, no absurd option should be given, and the option should be homogeneous in nature. All these things we discussed in very, very detail, in webinar 1. I explained each of these pointers individually. I have also connected each of these pointers to my examples which I showed in webinar 1. So if you have missed webinar 1, it's a really, really request from my side, humble request, that please go back and watch the same, because you will get a very good idea, of how the webinar started, and you can connect to more pointers, therein. Okay. So yeah, these are the certain pointers, as a checklist all teachers should have after they have prepared the question. All right. Well, four core subjects, we are discussing in our last and even in this webinar. We have English, we have maths, we have social studies, and we have science, the three branches separately: biology, physics, and chemistry. Okay, so in total, six subjects, are we are discussing in today's webinar along with examples. All right. Now there are four patterns, under competency based question which the webinar focused upon. Now value based, observation based, and MCQs we discussed in webinar 1, whereas case study and assertion and reasoning we'll discuss in webinar 2, that is today. So these two type of questions which you see in pink here will be discussed today, whereas these are already discussed in webinar 1. The subjects are the same. Mostly the chapters are also the same, because I already told you I wanted to keep the webinar homogeneous so that you are able to connect what I'm talking about. Okay. All right. So yeah, that is just a basic brief to all of you what we are going to discuss ahead. Well, quickly moving to our subject 1 for the day, that is mathematics. Okay. Now, for the mathematics, I have taken example of standard 10. Okay. So first thing you all need to understand is whatever examples I'm going to show today are all for standard 10. Okay. I took like a middle grounds for it because I felt it will cater to all the teachers, and they will understand how the format goes. So I took standard 10 for all the four subjects, that is maths, English, SST, and science. Okay. And the first thing we are going to discuss is assertion and reasoning. Okay, assertion and reasoning type of questions for all the four subjects. Okay, what is assertion and reasoning? Assertion and reasoning questions are those wherein there's a statement as an assertion which is given, and then the students, are also given, a reason for the same. And these can be presented in the form of MCQs, mostly presented in the form of MCQs only, or it can be given as an objective type of question as well. Okay, well, so the first kind of question under mathematics we are going to discuss is assertion and reasoning for class 10th. The chapter which I have taken is real numbers. Okay, now for assertion and reasoning, the first thing all teachers need to know is across subjects. Okay, across subjects, there's a direction in which you answer the same. So if you're given assertion and reasoning in the form of MCQs, okay, these kind of directions are to be given first. Okay, these four options are the standard format for answering the assertion and reasoning. Okay, both assertion, that is A, and R, that is reasoning, are true, and the R, that is reasoning, is the correct explanation of A. Again, assertion. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Okay, A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. So it should be answered in this format, in MCQs. The options you devise for the students should be in this format: assertion and reasoning. Same across all the subjects. Okay, I'll show you an example right now. The question 1, assertion. Okay, for real numbers, standard in mathematics. The HCF of two numbers is 16 and their product is this much. Then their LCM is 162. Reason: if A and B are two positive integers, then LCM into HCF into LCM is equal to A into B. All right, now this is something which you will give to the students as a question, and then these are the options, in this way you will present them, for answering. Okay, so this is one example, for mathematics, real numbers, assertion and reasoning. Okay, another example for the same is this. Assertion is 13 by 3125 is a terminating decimal fraction. Reason: if q is equal to 2n.5m, that is into where n and m are non-negative integers, then p divided by q is a terminating decimal fraction. Again, if you give both of these as assertion and reasoning to students, you have to present your options in this manner for the students to select and answer. Okay, so mathematics teacher standard 10, these are two examples which I've showed you right now for real numbers. I took the chapter as real numbers here, and you can see how assertion and reasoning is done. Okay, another question I took from the same is from the chapter triangles. Okay, you can read the question on the screen. If two sides of a right angle are 7 centimeter and 8 centimeter, then its third side will be 9 centimeter. And here is the reason which is given. Again, you have to present the options for the MCQs in the same format. So another question and assertion and reasoning for triangles chapter on the screen for all the mathematics teachers standard 10. Okay. And then there's another question I took from triangles itself. Assertion. Okay, I want the teachers to answer this one question because we would not have time to answer all. So yes, chance to all the mathematics teacher out there, stand at 10. I want you to answer this question. In the figures, in the given figures, triangle ABC is congruent to triangle GHI. If the corresponding sides of two triangles are proportional, then they are similar. This is your assertion. This is your reasoning. Now you tell me which option is correct from here, A, B, C, D. Come on, mathematics teacher, everyone. These are your four options, and you have to tell me which one is correct. Both assertion and reasoning, or only assertion is correct, or only reasoning is correct, or what is your answer for the same? Okay, I got one answer from Pachpula ji, Shivali ji, A. Okay, A, okay. Aman ji says A again. Okay, okay. Okay. All right. Definitely, definitely. Okay. So these are some of the examples, for assertion and reasoning, right? Mathematics. I took two chapters here, triangles and real numbers. All right. Now, case-based questions, right? Case-based questions can be made very, very effective, and to test the competency of students when given with diagrams, something which is very visual and engaging for them. And for this, I will share you a PDF at the end, which is made from the by using the homework app and by a team of CBSE experts. Okay, so a very short PDF of five questions for all the subjects. I'll share a drive link with all of you during the end of the webinar. Okay, for the case-based questions, which is very, very important. And again, what competencies all these questions test? The competencies which all of these questions test is the analytical skills of students, right? Okay, so it tests the analytical skills, it tests the reasoning skills of student. Okay, it also tests how much the students are able to understand the concept and to know whether it is right or wrong. It tests their understanding of the concept. So all these basic competencies are tested by the questions which is there on the screen, and I just showed you right now. All right, and case-based questions we'll discuss during the end of the webinar, for all those four subjects, and I'll share you the link as well. Okay. Well, moving to the next subject, that is English. Okay, so English teachers, please, 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 eyes on the screen because now is your turn. Okay, again, discussing first is assertion and reasoning. As I told, this particular direction and statements is similar or the same across all the subjects. This is the way in which the questions can be presented and the answers should be presented as well. Okay, now, I have taken here the chapter A Letter to God as my first example. Okay, so here is an assertion and here is a reason. Okay, so my assertion is Lencho was not at all surprised to receive the letter from God. Reason, his confidence and faith in God, was firm. Okay, now these are all your options. All right, so you have to, give the students, an option, and then you have to present it, to them. So you can see this is like the first one, which is there. Oh, one option is here. I'm very sorry. Editing mistake from my end. I'm just very, very sorry. Give me 1 second and I'll correct this. Editing mistake from my end. And yeah. Okay. Presenting again, just 1 second. Yep, corrected. And here's the screen. I'll present it again. All right. Yeah. So you can see right now that this is the assertion and this is the reasoning, right? And then you have like 5 options here. Okay. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation. True, but not the correct explanation. A is true, R is false. A is false, but R is true. Both A and R are false is another option which is added. Okay. It's A. Exactly. It's A. Panchpula ji, it's really great to see, how you're answering for all the subjects because it's really interesting. How many subjects do you teach, ma'am? I would really, really love to know. Hi, Rosa ji. I remember you from the last webinar. Pleasure to see you here again. Yes, Sanjeev ji, definitely A is right. Upasna ji, Cecilia ji, Kavita ji, Roop ji, everyone, thank you so much for the answer. Yes, A is right. This is one kind of example, okay? Oh, another very, very good example for the same can be, I'll show you right now. Another example from A Letter to God, okay? When Lencho counted the money, he became angry. Reason, God has made the mistake of sending only 70 pesos. And there is 4 options again. Now you tell me which one is right, which one is not. Okay. A again. Cool. All right. Correct. Quickly moving to the next option. Okay. Lencho was surprised to receive more money than what he had asked God for. Reason: Lencho wondered if everything he wished will be granted by God. Again, four options. So this is just to give you all a very basic idea, how assertion and reasoning can be prepared for the students with testing competencies of them, the very basic competencies, which is very, very important. Okay. Yes. Again, the answer is very, very right. The B. And yes, congrats for that. So I just showed you three questions from, a letter to God right now, which is assertion and reasoning. Okay. And that is how you're going to prepare the questions, keeping in mind that the options are correct in nature. They give the students a chance to think, to connect, to reason. It will also give you a chance as a teacher to understand how much they have learned, what capacity do they have, etc. Right. So that is very, very important. And a PDF I will share for both factual passages, that is English language, and I will also share you a PDF, for a letter to God, case-based questions. Okay, I will share the teachers the PDF during the end of the webinar. All right, for the case-based questions. So right now we'll just see assertion reasoning very quickly, and then we'll do a very short activity which will be very, very fun for all. And after the activity, we'll come back to the case-based questions. Okay. Now, moving ahead to the third subject, that is science. Okay, coming to science, we have three branches. We have biology, we have chemistry, we have physics, and I'm going to show you examples for all the three subjects differently. Okay, now, moving to the first one, that is heredity and evolution biology. Okay, you can see assertion and reason. Okay, so assertion is a geneticist crossed two pea plants and got 50% tall and 50% dwarf in progeny. One plant was heterozygous tall, and the other was dwarf, is the reason. And then you have four options. Biology teachers, come on, what is the answer? Yes, Kavita ji, PDFs are available for a long time in the homework app. You can prepare PDFs for anything. You can auto-generate worksheets. You can prepare PDF for the questions you have prepared. Even if you create a homework for a student, you can download it as a PDF. Don't worry at all. I'll show you in this webinar itself. Okay, we'll be doing an activity with the homework app. It will be very, very fun. And all the teachers are going to learn how to use these kinds of questions and to make their students practice more and more. No worries, Malanji. No worries. I understand. Please do watch the recording of the session, which will be there in the YouTube channel of the homework app by tomorrow. Okay. Biology teachers, come on. Where are you all? What is the answer for the question? Tell me. This is the assertion and this is the reason on the screen for heredity and evolution. No worries, Kavitaji. I'll show you where the PDFs are. No worries. Okay, so I think the biology teachers are kind of busy, but no worries. This is just to show you an example, that how assertion and reasoning can be done in biology as well. And you can see the four options. Okay, moving to the next again, assertion and reasoning. Variations are seen in offspring produced by sexual reproduction. Reason: DNA molecule generated by replication is not exactly identical to the original DNA. Answers to this, teachers. Okay, very different answers, from everyone. Okay, so this question, what is your answer for this question, which is there on the screen right now? B, C, D, or E? Come on, what is your answer? Okay. Anything else? C? Okay. Anything else? Exactly. The answer is C. Thank you so much for the answers, everyone. So this is another example, for the same, right? So you can see how in biology you can do assertion and reasoning with the students, okay? And in the same format, you have to present the answers to them. All right. Now, quickly moving to physics, class 10th. I'll be again showing examples for class 10th. And my chapter here is reflection and refraction, okay? Now, assertion and reasoning, you can see how it is done here. The center of curvature is not a part of the mirror. It lies outside, its reflecting surface. Reason: the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror forms a part of a sphere. This sphere has a center. Now, physics teacher, I want answers from your end, B, C, D, or E. What is the right answer? Hi, Seemaji, good evening. Okay, so yeah, if there are any physics teacher present on the call or any other teacher who wants to answer and knows the same, please go ahead with the same. You can tell me the answers for the same. Okay, Pravina ji says B. Okay, anybody else? Okay, Sanjeev ji says C. Hima ji says B. B, okay. Anybody else? Okay, okay. That's great. That's great. Right answer. Exactly. So that is one example for physics. The chapter is reflection and refraction. Okay. Now you can see the same chapters for value-based questions and MCQ questions in my last webinar. We have discussed a lot of questions on the same as well. Okay. So yeah, do watch it if you haven't. You will get a greater idea, of how the same chapter and the same questions can be presented in 4 different formats. Okay. Moving ahead to the next question for physics, chapter is again reflection and refraction. So my assertion here is a ray passing to the center of curvature of a concave mirror after reflection is reflected back along the same path. Reason, the incident rays falls on the mirror along the normal to the reflecting surface. Again, as you see, the questions will be in the same format. There is assertion, there's a reasoning, and then there are 4 options to present. So this is just another example for physics. All right. I would have definitely engaged, in a complete activity with all of you. But since there's a lot to show and we don't have a lot of time, I just have to move, fast. But yes, you can drop your answers in the chat box. Nonetheless, there's no harm in dropping your answers, and it'll be really fun to see it later. Yeah. Well, since we saw biology, we saw physics, and now we'll see for chemistry, standard 10, which is the third and the last branch of science we are going to discuss. Okay. For chemistry, as you can see, we have an assertion here and we have a reason. Again, the format is same across all the subjects as you see, and the options are the same as well. Okay, so assertion, you can see the acid must always be added to the water with constant stirring. Mixing of an acid with water decreases the concentration of hydrogen plus, that is H plus ions per unit volume. That is the reason. Okay, and again, you have 4 options here. All right, so you can always drop your answers in the chat box. All right. um, Anjali ji, you can present assertion and reasoning, in various formats. Okay, yes, as I told in the beginning, assertion and reasoning can be presented in the MCQ format. It can also be presented, in the form of an objective question format. That is an open-ended question, wherein you give these students an assertion and you tell them to write a reason with an explanation. That can also be done, but this is another format of writing the assertion-based questions. Since that is a very, very basic format, Anjali ji, I just thought to show this one, the MCQ format as well. Okay, you can give this format as well. All right. Moving to the next again, acid, bases, and salt is the chapter for chemistry. And another assertion and reasoning here is copper sulfate crystals are wet because it contains water of crystallization. Reason, water of crystallization is mixed number of molecules of water present in one formula unit of salt. And then again is 4 option. All the teachers, thank you Anjali ji for picking up the point. You can also give the same questions in the format wherein you just give the assertion and the students have to write the right reasoning here. Okay, or you can present it in this format also. Okay. All right. So we already saw, 3 questions each, for biology and for chemistry, and for physics we saw mathematics, and we also saw for English. Now the last subjects we are going to see for the day is SST, that is social science or social studies, whatever the name, calls, in your school. Okay. So I have taken like a, same homogeneous format, for to show everything so that the teachers don't get confused when they see the questions. All right. So you can see here. Okay, resources are vital, for human survival as well as for maintaining the quality of life. Okay, and you can see that option C here, A is true, but R is false is correct. But yeah, the reason is here. It was believed that the resources, for free gifts of nature. So you can either only give the assertion, allow the students to write the reason, or you can give both and present the options. Okay, another question you can see here on black soils. Black soils are black in color and are also known as regal soils. Reason, black soils are made up of lava flows. And the answer, you can see which option is correct. Okay, again, something which you can give as an open-ended question, or with the options which can present below. Okay. uh, all right, so just to give all of you a very basic idea, of how assertion reasoning is done and why it is so very important, that you give them the practice, of all kinds of questions, right? Again, do follow the format, which your school has given, for board specifically, because every school, I think, follows, different practice set, processes. So yeah, This is just to give you an idea how assertion and reasoning works, right? It can work in different ways, and it can give the students, very basic idea of what the topic is and how to answer the questions. All right. As said, I'll share the PDF link, or the drive link to all of you in the chat box, okay, during the end of the webinar for the case-based questions. Okay. Before that, this is the link I'm going to be sharing, during the end. Well, this is a small activity, for the day as well. Now, something which every teacher here on call needs to understand is that right now we have discussed about competency based questions and how it can be presented in the form of assertion based and the case study based questions as well, which we will see during the end of the webinar. But before that, shouldn't we as teachers be able to make our students practice these questions more every day? And to sit down and prepare on one's own is something which is very difficult. So for the same, can't we use the homework app? Because this app completely aligns itself with NP 2020. This app also has all the CBSE based, questions and the updated format, for the boards, also free of cost. And moreover, if we see the third thing, the app can give you PDFs. You can prepare PDF for any questions, any set of questions if you want. You can prepare question papers. You can auto generate your worksheet. You can prepare manual worksheets if you want. Or you can have case study based questions, assertion reasoning, value based, Bloom's taxonomy, MCQs, everything which the board suggests you. Competency based questions, everything can be, seen, in one application, in at one place. And for that, just a very basic activity for all the teachers for the day is this. Okay, first thing which you all have to do is join this WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm going to share the link to all of you for the WhatsApp group which you need to join. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll share the WhatsApp group link which you all need to join for the day. Okay, yeah, the first thing which you all need to do is join this WhatsApp group right now. I will wait for 5 minutes. We'll wait till Sangeeta ji. This is a new WhatsApp group. For the last webinar, the WhatsApp group was different. For this webinar, it's different. Okay. So I'll just wait till 6:45. That is 2 minutes for all of you to join the WhatsApp group. Okay. Yes, teachers, quickly, come on, everyone. And there's another thing. Everyone has to be in the WhatsApp group, for today. Please don't exit the group, okay? Even after the activity is done, stay in the WhatsApp group for today, and maybe by tomorrow, you can exit. Hi, Seema ji, saw your message on the group right now. That's really great. Everyone is joining. I can see. Hi, Seema Khatri ji. Good evening again. Hi, Rani ji. It's great how teachers are responding in the group. Okay, that's great. Do join the group, WhatsApp group, and then I'll tell you about the activity. 1 more minute, teachers. Oh, hi, Seema ji. Saw your hello with the penguin right now. Hi, Rosa ji. Okay. I think teachers are quickly joining the group, and I will see how many have joined. Only 89 participants have joined. What about the other teachers? There are 255, people on call. Come on, teachers, quickly join the WhatsApp group. I'll wait for another 2 minutes. Okay, 6:46 is the time when we are going to proceed with the activity. And this is something which is really interesting, and everyone should participate because you have to understand, how the tech works, how technology works today, how efficient technology can be, and how you can make the best use, of what you have in mind or of what you have in hand, right? Okay, 100 participants as of now, 101, 2, increasing. All right, waiting for another 1 minute for all of you to join the group. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you who have joined. Also, this group is different from the last webinar's group, so please do join, okay? Also, it's mandatory to participate in the activity. Sorry, I've forgotten to inform. It's mandatory because, like the last webinar, the team will be tracking your screenshots in this particular group. So I'll tell you about the activity. The team will be tracking whether you have joined the group, whether you have done the activity, and accordingly, it will provide you the certificates. So it's mandatory to participate. Please do join the group. It's a very short, small, nice activity which you can do. Okay. Sujata ji, I just sent the link for WhatsApp in the chat. I'm sending it again. Teachers, please do join for the group for the activity. It's gonna be fun. You're gonna learn something new. Okay. All right, teachers. All right. So as people are joining the group, slowly and steadily, you can join in, as you see the chat box. And after that, the step one is, okay, using the homework app right now. Don't do anything. Okay, please, teachers, right now just be with me on the Zoom call. I will show you the demo for the application. I will show you something very cool, some cool features of the application which you can use for your own benefit. So step one is, we will be using the homework app to create a homework using case based questions and assertion and reasoning for whatever topic you are teaching in class. Okay, so we'll be using the homework app to create a homework first. After we create a homework on a particular topic, we'll make sure it doesn't have more than 10 questions. So all the teachers who have joined the WhatsApp group and are there on call have to create a homework on the latest topic they are teaching in class. And then they have to select 5 MCQ. Okay, so 5 MCQ questions and 5 value based, this is for the last webinar. So you have to do 5 case based, okay? 5 case based questions and 5 assertion reasoning questions. Okay, 5 case based questions and 5 assertion reasoning questions. You have to select and then make a homework from it. After you make a homework from it, then you have to share the homework link to the students. So after you create a homework using the homework app with 10 questions, share the homework link to your students on WhatsApp. And after you share the homework to your students on WhatsApp with the 10 questions, 5 assertion reasoning, 5 case based, post that, you have to share the screenshot. Screenshot should have the visibility of the group name, which is your student group or class group, wherever you are sharing. It should have the visibility of the entire homework shared. And then you have to share this screenshot in the group which you just joined recently. Okay, that is a very simple activity for the day. Use the homework app, create a homework with 10 questions. The 10 questions should have assertion reasoning and case based under competency based questions. And then after that, you share it with your students, because a little extra practice won't even hurt. And as a teacher, you will get the idea how to generate PDF, how to share, how to create a worksheet in 30 seconds and share to students to make them practice questions which are board worthy. Okay, which are board important or board significant. And after that, just take a screenshot from your phone and send the picture in the group which you all recently joined. Okay, that is the activity. Quickly, we'll complete the activity by 7 p.m. Okay, it's a 10 minutes activity, will complete by 7 p.m. And I'll quickly share my screen right now to show all of you how is it done. Okay, so by 7 p.m. we will wrap up the activity. So all the teachers, please open the homework app on your phones and be ready with me. Okay, go to the homework app, create a class, choose your subject, choose the topic, and be ready and start creating a homework right now. For those who don't know, I'll be sharing my screen to show you the same. Okay, so this is the activity for the day. The deadline is 6. Okay, the deadline is, right now it's 6:50 p.m. The deadline is 7 p.m. 10 minutes is the deadline for the activity. All the teachers quickly go to the homework app, create a homework with 10 questions, 5 assertion reasoning, 5 case based, and share it to your students. And then send a screenshot in the WhatsApp group you all joined recently. And the screenshot should have the visibility of the group name and also the homework shared. Okay. And for all the other teachers who don't know how to do it, I'm sharing my screen to show you the same. Okay, you can also see how to generate PDFs, etc. That's great, Kunalji. I can see your screenshot there on the group. That's great. That's great. Extra practice never hurts, right? A little extra practice never hurts. Okay, just 10 questions, fun, easy to prepare, easy to check for you all also, and a good practice for students. It will provide student learning, make your students, smarter than before. They will be, doing a practice of 10 questions more, which will definitely contribute to their learning in the long term, right? So it's okay. Okay, it's just 10 questions. They can do it in no time. Little extra practice on a daily basis, make it a habit. Okay. Now just give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen from my phone. And yeah, for those teachers who don't know how to do it, I'm here to show you the same. Okay. All right. Here is my screen. As you can all see, I have shared it. Okay. Everyone who doesn't know how to create a homework, see on the Zoom screens right now. Please don't share your homework in the group, but share the screenshot of the homework shared to your students in the group. Okay. Now, all the teachers, everyone on the screen, okay. Let's say, for example, if you are a standard 10 mathematics teacher, okay. So you can see on the screen here, if you are a standard 10 mathematics teacher, what you have to do is you have to go to the subject maths. Okay. You have to go to the subject mathematics. Okay, and after going to the subject mathematics, what you have to do is click on the case study question bank. Okay, it's okay, even if you're able to create only one type of questions and not able to add the others, create at least one homework and share it with your students to get an idea how it is done. And I will also show you how you can generate the PDF and share it with your students if you want. Okay, so right now I clicked on standard in mathematics and I went to the case study questions. Let's say I choose the chapter real numbers. Okay, after choosing real numbers, you can see on the screen there are case study questions, and you can see how interactive the questions are, okay, with pictures and everything. So I'll click on add. Okay, let's say I want to add the other questions also. I will click on add. Okay, there are third questions. You can see the sweets, kaju barfis are there and everything. So I'll add this as well, and I'll add another question. So now total questions from case study is 4, right? What I'll do is now I'll go back. Okay, and you can see the same you can do for the assertion and reasoning. Okay, so your total questions from case study is already there here. You can see, Rosa ji, you had a complaint that you can't add the other questions, right? Ma'am, you can select one type of question from case study question bank, and then you can go back. Okay, then you can go back and you can select, another book and add more questions. So you can see my 4 case study questions which I selected are already there on the screen. Okay, okay, now these are already there on the screen. Now I have selected, I've removed one question, and now I've selected my assertion reasoning book. From here also I will choose real numbers, and I will add on assertion reasoning type questions. Okay, so you can see you can make the assertion reasoning as MCQs and also subjective in nature. Okay, I can make it subjective in nature. Let's say I add 2 subjective assertion reasoning and I add 2 MCQs. Okay, now total questions right now is 7. I have added 3 case study and 4 assertion reasoning, whereas you all have to add 5 case study and 5 assertion reasoning. For all the other teachers who can't find any question, create any homework, according to your class for your students and share it with them. If you're a standard 3, standard 4 teacher, it's okay. Choose your subject, create a homework for 10 questions and share it with your students. Okay, now, after I have added the questions, everyone, do you want to know how to generate a PDF from the homework app? Yes, Dhananjay ji, you definitely can. You definitely can. You can create a question paper for marks also. Okay. Arpita ji, for 11th and 12th, the content is still under development. For standard 6 to standard 10 teachers, okay, you can have the case studies and the assertion reasoning or the value based questions. Okay. Now this you can see the homework is created. You can see the day, the time, the deadline. You can change it accordingly, and if you want, if you think that everything is right, you just click on create homework. After you click on create homework, you can review your homework here. इसमें assertion reasoning भी है, subjective MCQ type, and इसमें case study based questions भी है. Okay. Now, can you see the three dots on the top of my screen? Using the three dots, you can see the option for generate PDF. Okay. You can click on generate PDF and the PDF of this entire questionnaire will be generated. You can generate PDF, you can generate the answer key as well, and you can download this homework as a Word file as well. So on the top of the screen, the three dots which you can see will provide you this option. Okay. Now after that, you click on share homework. Okay. When you click on share homework, since I've created for standard 10 mathematics, I have three sections here, A, E, and C. So I will share to my 10C class here. So share with 10C. Okay, I will share it with my 10C class, and then you can see that you have an option for WhatsApp. Just click on WhatsApp and then you have to share it to your student group. Okay, that is the major activity for the day. And after you share it with your student group, you can also see how many students have opened the homework, the student status, how many have submitted, how many are yet to be corrected. You can see the reports for each and every student. You can also see the submissions. Okay, so that is the basic activity, for the day. All right. Okay. So right now, I want all the teachers to create a homework as we have shown. And after that, you have to share the homework to your students and take a screenshot and send it in the WhatsApp group you all joined. Okay. Since I was showing the demo for all of you till now, I will wait till 7. Okay, I will wait till 7:05 p.m. Okay, till 7:05 p.m. you all have to generate a homework and send it to your students. If your class doesn't have case study and value-based questions, create a homework for any subject and topic of your choice, including any kind of questions, and share it with your students. Please do participate in the activity because it will give you a chance to understand how you can do it in 30 seconds effectively. Okay, how can you use the application? Right? Okay, I'll just see the chat box. Give me 1 minute. I'll share my screen and see the chat box. Okay. Yeah, let's see the chat box. Okay, if you have sent it to your students, take a screenshot and send it in the activity group. Okay. Now, Sunita ji, why are you not able to create a homework? You can tell me what problem you are facing. Okay. Dhananjay Ji, for long type answers, so if I'm not wrong, you can see the answers in the application, but even if you can't, you can click on generate answer key as I showed you in the three dots, and you can see the PDF therein as well. Okay, Sudha Ji, why teachers are not able to create a homework? Shunali Ji, we don't have to create a PDF. You have to just create a homework and share it to your students on WhatsApp. Okay, PDF is not necessary. Okay, PDF I just showed you, that you can make it. All right. Please do the activity. Also, please don't share, screenshots which are not relevant. Kanaka ji, you have generated a PDF, but you haven't shared with your students. It's not acceptable. Even Sapra ji, not relevant screenshot. Please share relevant screenshot, teachers. Share it to your students and then share the screenshot. Otherwise, it's not acceptable. And when the team tracks, your activity will not be considered. Rajalakshmi ji, even yours, the screenshot is not valid. Please share a valid screenshot when you share it in the WhatsApp group and take a screenshot and share. Okay, don't edit the WhatsApp group names, etc. Just share it with your students and then share. Okay. Thanks, Shanali ji. Just saw your message. That's really great. Okay, another 2 minutes, teachers. By 7:02 p.m., the activity deadline will be over. All right. The activity deadline will be over by 7:02 p.m. because we have a little more to cover, by 7:15 p.m. And since I have to show you the case study questions as well from my end, okay, I need some time. So 7 p.m. the activity will be over. Please, please, please do complete the activity right now. All right. Whoa. Okay, okay. Who is this? Ranjit ji, that's really great. You shared the PDF, huh? That's actually very, very smart. That's great, Ranjit ji. You can share the PDF, you can share the homework link, anything which suits you teachers. Just try and see, that 8 to 10 questions every day, a little extra practice, without any burden to the students is something which you have to develop a habit for. And these are essential for you to know because these are something, which will come in boards as well. And that is why this activity is so, so important. Yeah. This screenshot is not not applicable, Reena ji, because your group name is not visible in the screenshot. Very sorry, but this is not acceptable. Others whose group names are visible and there's a screenshot, that's really, really great. Sunita ji, no need to share the activity here, ma'am. If you have created, share it to your students, take a screenshot and share. Okay. Oh, that's really, really great. Teachers are sharing, PDFs as well. That's great, Narayana ji. That's great. That's great. Absolutely, Sujata ji. Your screenshot is definitely correct. Just checked it right now. Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone. Yes, Anil ji. Definitely, definitely. It's absolutely correct. Okay. So all the teachers who have shared it till now, the team has started tracking it. I just got the message from Miss Chanda, who is the head of the team. She's tracking the screenshots right now for generating your certificates. And yes, please don't leave the group. Be there in the group because the team will track it. Okay. That's very, very essential. Um, Also, please send the homework and then take a screenshot. Okay. Definitely, Hemaji, definitely. It's all under development. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. It's 7 p.m. and that's great that you all participated in the activity and you showed so much of activeness right now, right? It was just to give you a very basic idea of how you can make the best use of the tools which are available in your hand, right? There's so much to explore in every tool, which the teachers don't know or which the educators don't know. So that was a basic activity for the day. Now, as I promised, I'll share you the link for the case-based questions right now in the chat. Yeah, this is the link for the case-based questions. All the teachers, please come back to Zoom because I'm going to show you case-based questions, from my end. And 7:15 p.m., as I already communicated at the beginning, I'll share you the link for attendance. 7:15 p.m., everyone, I will share you the link for attendance. Okay. Here is the drive link. When you click on the drive link, you all can see, yeah, as you can see, you all can see all these PDFs right here for biology, chemistry, maths, physics, social studies, factual passages, and letter to God. Okay, all these PDFs, I've created using the homework app itself. You can see how the case-based questions look like. So I'll just show for two subjects. Okay, I'll show for biology in science. Okay, I will show you the PDFs and the case study questions for two subjects. Okay, now you can see how a picture is given here. And Raju's teacher was teaching the chapter heredity and evolution in class. Okay, and see how this a case study is given. And on the basis of the case study which is given, question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5 is there. All right. That is how case study questions are. It can be MCQ in nature, it can be long type, short type, objective, subjective, anything. So 3 and 5 are open-ended questions and 4, 1 and 2 are MCQ type. Okay, so just to show you an example, okay, of a case study in biology, I've shared the drive link in the chat box. Please save the drive link with all of you. Navneet ji, I'm sharing the WhatsApp group link. You can join the group link. Okay, this is the drive link. Okay, for the PDF, you can have more such questions from the homework app. Okay, you can have more such questions using the homework app only. All the PDFs which I have generated are using the homework app only. Okay, so you can use the homework app to generate more such case study based questions for yourself. Teachers who have missed the WhatsApp group, here is the link again for you to join. Certificate link 7:15 p.m. as I already informed in the beginning of the webinar. Okay, you can see another case study question right here, as you can see. You can see there's a picture and there's a small case study on which, 4 5 questions are there. So just showing you this, PDF for biology, how case studies are there and how various questions, are presented, on the basis of the case study. And all these pattern questions are aligning to the CBSE's latest pattern for boards and to the NEP 2020. So you don't have to worry about it a little also. Everything you can see how beautifully, the PDFs are generated using the homework app. This is just for biology. I can show you another subject like mathematics here. This is for mathematics, the PDF I created. You can have the look at all of these. Link I have shared in the chat box. You can see how the case studies are given and the questions, are attached with the case studies. All right. So this is for mathematics. I already showed for biology. I will show you for the letter to God as well. That is English. Okay, English ke liye you can see how there's a case study, there's a passage. Why did Lencho go out in the rain, etc., etc. Okay, so you can see MCQs can be presented, in connection with the case study. Question 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They all are in the form of MCQs. Okay, and then you can see there's another passage and there are, a set of questions on it. So all these kind of things, can be very easily created by using the homework app in just 30 seconds. Choose the questions, create a PDF and share. Best and simple way. See, this is for English. You don't have to type, you don't have to do anything. It's very easy and simple to use. You can also see how many have submitted, how many have seen, how many have not. So all these are PDFs for case-based questions. Teachers, the link I have already shared in the chat box. Sophia G, I have given examples for class 10th, but all the 6th standard to 10th standard teachers can create these kind of things for their own as well by using the homework app. Okay. So I'm showing examples for class 10th, because, I wanted a homogeneous aspect. Yes, definitely, Sophia ji. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to answer your question. And the link I've shared in the chat box. This is just to show you an example. And I'll share the drive link again. Here is the drive link. You all can see, for a basic knowledge, I've added 5 6 questions for each, and you can have a look on the same. Okay. So that is the basic, agenda behind the webinar for today, that how you can make the best use of the components, you have in hand. That's all from my side. And now I will just show you how to fill the attendance form for the day, post which I will share you the attendance link. Okay. And I will also tell you that there is a competition, which is organized by the homework app and team called the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay. And how you can participate in it and how you can earn the rewards. Okay. Just give me 1 minute and I'll show you my screen as in how to fill the form for the day, the attendance form, everyone. Okay, everyone, all the teachers on call, please focus on the screen. I'm going to show you how to fill the attendance form, for the day. And I'm going to also tell you after this how to participate, as you can see, in the Smart Teacher Festival. The Smart Teacher Festival is a festival which the homework app and team organizes. It is completely free of cost to participate. All you have to do is join a WhatsApp group, a different WhatsApp group for the Smart Teacher Festival to participate in it. And how long is the festival? It's a 7-day long festival in which you have to create 3 assignments. Okay, you create 3 assignments using the homework app, you share it with your students, and then get 30 submissions, at the minimum. Okay, and post this, the team will send you the scores and every day and everything, on the WhatsApp group itself, and you will get reward which is worth rupees 2000, and also a Smart Teacher certificate, which is an official certificate by the homework app and team. All right, everyone. So this is the Smart Teacher Festival, as I told you. And now I will show you how to fill the form correctly, so that, we can generate the certificates right. And how can you participate in the Smart Teacher Festival from the form? Okay. So everyone, are you ready to see how it is done? Shinali ji, yes, you can participate every time, ma'am. All the teachers who have already earned the reward of 2000 earlier and want to participate again, want to get the certificate again of a smart teacher, want to provide their students more learning, create more homeworks, please do the same. You can do it 100 times as well. Okay, now I'll show everyone how to fill the form and participate in the smart teacher festival. Okay, so you just click on the start button. Okay, after clicking on the start button, you fill your name. Okay, after filling your name, you fill your correct phone number. After that, you type your email ID. Okay, post typing your email ID, you have to select what your gender is. I am female, so I'll type female. School institute name, I'll just type XXX. You can fill your school name, institute name here. Post which it will ask you the designation which you belong to, principal, teacher, vice principal, etc. I am a tutor, so I will type a tutor here. Okay, and then it will ask you whether you want to use the homework app officially for your school or institute. Okay, free of cost, so you can use it free of cost for your school as well. If you are interested, you click on yes, and the team will reach out to you. Okay, now it will show you a summary of your details. Okay, you can see the summary of your details here. As you can see, any mistake here will result in no certificate generated by us. So you have to check your details. If the details are correct, you click on continue. If they are wrong, you can go back by the form arrows and fill it again. Okay. Then it will ask you whether the school has started after summer holidays or not. Click on yes if it has started. And then if you want to participate in the Smart Teacher Festival, which is a competition, a festival organized by the Homework App and team, okay, which will give you a Smart Teacher certificate and the reward word 2000, you click on yes. Only if you click on yes here, you will get the option to join the WhatsApp group. Okay, otherwise it will not give you the option to join the WhatsApp group, and you cannot participate in the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, now one last question: do you teach maths? If you teach maths, you say yes. If you don't teach maths, you say no. Okay, and click on the submit button. The moment you submit this form, certificates will reach to all of you within 24 hours. And after that, all of you who clicked on yes to join the Smart Teacher Festival, you can join the festival group from here. So click on this option, join festival group, and you can join the festival group, to participate in the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, you have to click on here, join the festival group. And as I said earlier, what you have to do for the Smart Teacher Festival, it's this. Okay, everyone, if you click on yes and join the WhatsApp group, you have to do this: minimum 3 assignments to your students, at least 30 submissions, and you have to send them the auto generated reports from the app. Okay, and the team will send you the leaderboards every day on the WhatsApp group itself. Okay, now that is the Smart Teacher Festival. Okay, now everyone, I will share you the form link right now. I'll share you the form link right now. Okay, just give me 1 minute. The form link, where is the form link? Oh yeah, here is the form link. I'll share the form link right now in chat, and then I will read whatever messages you all have dropped for me. Okay. Okay, here is the form link. Teachers, please fill it by 7:25 p.m. Post which the form will. Oh, thank you so much. I saw just the comments, from all of you right now. Thank you so much. It really means a lot, all these comments from your end. Okay, I've also shared the form link in the chat box. Please fill the same. Please fill it by 7:25 p.m. post which the form will close. Okay. And yeah, also please save the form link somewhere. That Hema ji, here is the link. There's only one link you all need to fill, and it's in the chat box. Also fill it by 7:25 p.m. and save the link somewhere, because I will end the webinar in another 2-3 minutes. Okay, so I have to join another webinar. So yeah, you have to save the form link, somewhere. Yes, it's for certificate also. Yes, fill just one form. It will serve as your attendance, certificate, everything. Okay. Kavita ji, there's just one link you need to fill, one form you need to fill. The link I've already shared in the chat box. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the comments. It's really, really enriching to hear, that from all of you. Yes, Ranjit ji. There's only one form you all need to fill for attendance and certificate. One form, one link, which is there in the chat box. Okay. So teachers, okay, just you can